Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Mellybeans felt tutorial. This week I will be showing you guys how you can make your very own super cute little Bulbasaur pin or brooch. If you're not big on making things by hand or you can't find the time or the supplies, I also do custom orders so you can still have cute little brooches like this at home. Just check out my Etsy or send me a private message. And of course, I've made a pattern for this cute little Bulbasaur pin for you guys to make. It's on my DeviantArt page, and I will leave links in the description box below. The rest of the supplies you will need are as follows. You will need felt in 3 shades, dark, medium, and light. For one of the colors, I just have a little scrap, and for the other color, I have a larger piece because it will be the backing. You will also need some black felt, as well as thread in matching colors for all the green and the black, a needle, and a pair of scissors. This is what it should look like when you have all the pattern pieces cut out. I have 3 little green patches for his forehead, 2 eye pieces, and his headpiece. And all you want to do is sew these on using matching threads, and that's what it will look like when that's done, and as well as the back. After all the facial features are sewn on, you can then mount the headpiece onto one of your larger squares of backing felt. In this case, I've chosen dark green, and I have 2 pieces that will fit all the way around the head with a little bit of a seam allowance, and I'm just going to sew around using a light green thread, using either a back stitch or a running stitch. I decided to use a back stitch, and here's what that looks like. And as you can see, I did a little overlap on the ears to give it some depth. The next step is to take the face that we just sewed on and put that onto our final back piece and use a very short running stitch and some matching green thread all the way around the head. Once that's done, we can come back and I'll show you how to cut around the edges as well as sew the pin in place. So now I'm done with my very short running stitch, and I haven't finished off yet, but as you can see it's a little bit crooked because I shoved the pin in there and all I did was cut a hole, a vertical slit, just wide enough to fit the pin in there. And so now what you're going to do is finish off as usual, hide your thread, and when you come back I'll show you how to do up the back part around the pin. To close up the opening around the pin, we're going to use a stitch called the baseball stitch. Begin by putting your needle under the first layer of felt on one of the sides so that you're coming from underneath, like so. Then you're going to want to stick your needle through the pin carefully and bring it under the other side of the gap and bring your needle up through there. And when you pull, it should close that gap together. So just keep doing that back and forth. Thread your needle through the pin, under the felt, under one layer of felt, and then under the pin and up on the other side, once again coming from under the felt. When you're done, it should look something like, the seam on a baseball. And then you can finish off as usual, tie a couple knots, and hide your thread away. Once you've hidden the thread, you can see your nice little baseball stitch at the back there. You can test the pin to see if it works, and it does. And we're so close to being done. There's just one last final step, and that's to cut all the edges away, leaving a little bit of a gap. I do about 1/2 centimeter or less. Just be careful not to cut through any of the stitches, or else all your hard work will go to waste. That's it for this week's tutorial, guys. I hope you had lots of fun crafting this cute little Pokemon-inspired Bulbasaur pin, brooch, patch, whatever you want to call it, anime memorabilia. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see another craft tutorial next week and the next week, and hopefully the next week. Here are a couple of my past tutorials. There's a emoji one, and there's a Mickey and Minnie one. Remember to check DeviantArt for the free pattern, and I'll see you guys next week.